Hey guys, Bella here. I just finished a workout and I wanted to talk to you guys about my experience using a nutrition dietitian coaching session with Fridays. This is a service that Fridays has offered for a little while and I finally decided to do it. I'm not gonna lie, in my mind I was like, what can they tell me that I don't already know? I've been dieting for over 15 years at this point. But it actually helped me. We talked about some of my goals, dealing with things like macros when it comes to protein intake, fiber, and we also talked about my strength training routine. It is kind of non-existent, which is hard for me because I used to strength train very often and then I got a back injury and I just kind of got out of it, and there's no reason why I never got back into it other than chronic pain. But to be honest, I just let it fall off, and so I'm trying to rebuild some habits. So I want to show you kind of the experience with the coaching call, just little snippets of it to kind of give you an idea of what you can expect. It was actually 30 minutes long with a registered dietitian, which I'm guessing would cost you upwards of $100 if you just did it out of pocket. So my experience with the coaching call was really positive. She actually sent me a lot of PDFs of just some little charts about food that could be a good reminder of what I can buy at the grocery store. Even after being on a GLP-1 for almost 3 years now, I still find myself struggling to know what exactly I'm supposed to eat. And I also have sort of a sugar addiction. So she really said to prioritize getting, protein and then real food, and, just kind of making it more intentional, which is something that I've struggled with a lot because I really am ADHD AF. Whenever I start working on my business in the morning, I just grind for about 4 hours, and then after that my mind kind of needs a break. And so I'm thinking maybe I just start doing my fitness routine in the morning, because obviously when I get done with work I just feel like I'm too tired to do anything, and I know that maybe my energy level will go up after I do more exercise. I know that exercise makes me feel better, but something in me just hasn't wanted to do it, and I think that it's been really hurting me with my continued weight loss. So right now I'm hanging out at 145. She did ask me about some of my weight loss goals.
I'm curious too, do you have, and it's okay if you don't, but do you have a goal weight in mind that you're looking at? What are your thoughts there?
I've honestly hung out at this weight range for a really long, probably a year, close to staying around 145, and I feel like I can maintain that relatively easily, but I've probably would be a little bit healthier 130, 135.
Okay. So maybe
As
lose a little bit more if possible.
as short as I am.
Weight loss percentage. So you lost about 46 pounds overall, that's great. Do you feel the differences?
Oh yeah.
Even just non-scale related differences in energy level, how you're feeling?
Yeah. I was in a size 14 and I'm in a size 6 now. So after we talked about it, I kind of said, I'd be cool with getting down to 140, 135, maybe 130, but to me, that's the skinniest I've ever been was 130, and I felt like it was difficult for me to maintain. She actually gave me a chart with how much calories I should eat and my macros, so that was helpful. I feel like the calories to me are a little bit low for what I've been consuming. Honestly, I consume anywhere between 1,800 to 2,000 a day now, and I'm fairly active. We did talk about my activity level.
Real quick here, we mentioned working out. I have that you reported about 6,000 steps a day on average. What else? What does your current physical activity routine look like? What else are we doing?
I go for walks and hiking and stuff like that. I was going to Pilates, but our Pilates teacher quit. So it was the one class at the Y that I actually liked. So I really should get back into something. I just spend a lot of time outdoors. I have a really big garden, so I'll be taking care of the garden for a lot of time. I noticed I lost a lot of weight during my planting season, so
Oh,
I
wow.
was
Just more activity.
yeah.
Okay. So I usually recommend just overall daily movement, at least 6,000 to 7,000 steps a day on average. So it looks like you're doing really well with that.
Yeah.
So some days there's going to be more, some days less, but that's just overall beneficial for just daily movement, daily, health. So that is good. And then we want to think about maybe some kind of purposeful activity separate from that. So with the medication, I usually recommend we need to think about some kind of strength and resistance activity to help you retain muscle mass, as I'm sure you're aware of. So it can be anything super simple, 10 or 15 minutes, as long as it's about 2 to 3 times a week. I usually recommend at a minimum if you have the time for it.
I have dumbbells sitting in my room.
Yes,
they're sitting, they're stationary, they don't move, but they're in my room, so maybe I can use this as a catalyst to start.
That might be a good goal. I usually walk away with 1 or 2 feasible action set goals for you to get started with. That way I can check in with you on those things at your follow-up visit, just to kind of keep you accountable, making sure that you're following through. So if you want to set that as one of our goals, that can help.
I'll write it down. I'm gonna write it down because
yes,
I will.
You'll see these goals like in your account too. I believe so maybe we'll walk away with, I'll just say strength train just in general.
Yeah, unfortunately I've known this, but doing it is a different story. And I mean I've done like YouTube workouts and stuff. It's something about just I put my, like, it's almost like after I get done working, the last thing I want to do is like work on me, but I'm like, you already worked on everything else for 8 hours. You can't give yourself like 15 or 20 minutes. Like,
it is, you're not alone. I struggle with it myself too. It's just finding that it's getting into the routine, honestly. So I think the hardest part about starting a routine is actually starting it, like putting on your tennis shoes and doing it. Once you have it in your schedule for a few weeks, then it gets a little bit easier because you're so used to it. So I think the hardest part is the first couple weeks of actually doing it, just because it's out of your comfort zone. Like your comfort zone is you work and then, you know, maybe you eat and then you hang out, or you know, just doing something new is the hardest part. She kind of stressed the importance of strength training, and I told her I have dumbbells in my room that I don't touch. So today I decided to do a workout, just 10 minutes, and I'm gonna be honest, it really wasn't that hard. I don't know why I've been putting it off for so long. I guess I got out of the habit, and so one thing I'm gonna try to do throughout July is build that habit back by doing it every single day. We talked about the importance of scheduling, because I know that if I put something on my Finch app, which is a little bird app that I use, basically if I put something on that, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to do it that day unless something crazy happens. So I have added to my Finch app every single day 10 minutes of strength training, and then every single day 6,000 steps. Right now I've got 1,700 steps. I work from home. I literally get out of this room, I walk into my office, and I just start work. So I really need to take advantage of having a neighborhood that is slightly walkable. My neighborhood's not like the most walkable, but I don't think I'll get hit by a car. Hopefully, fingers crossed. If I do, y'all can come back and make fun of me. But I just feel like maybe I'm not optimizing like everything that I'm doing, and so I'm gonna focus on eating more real food and then being a little bit more intentional about meal prepping and things like that. But I really like the coaching call, like having some accountability outside of myself. I mean, I have you guys, but like, I don't know, like there's not really anyone that I talk to that is holding me accountable or like talking about goals with me or anything like that. There's not really any major checkups or anything like that in my life. You know, I'm pretty much in control of my fitness, and so honestly it just helped to talk to somebody. It was really a positive experience for me, and the fact that it was free and included with my Fridays membership was like so much better, because I'm like, well, I mean, why not take advantage of something that is being offered to you? It's really easy to set up. You just literally go into your like portal, and then you click like nutrition coaching, and then I just selected like first available. I just did it at a time that worked for me, and then you just click on there, and then you go into your appointment time, and basically the person will pop up, and then they'll just start guiding you into what you need to do. I filled out a questionnaire that kind of talked about like my current weight, my past weight, the things that I have been doing, and then kind of the things that I would like to work on. One of the things that I said was that I struggle with sugar and with eating at night, and she suggested having like a small snack before bed. I'm really bad about like getting the hungriest at night. I've sometimes wondered if I'm one of those people who is like a nighttime eater. There's like a theory of like people who eat at night, and I really have often felt like I was one of those people. But overall, my experience was positive, and I feel like this is something that you should take advantage of if you are with Fridays. If you want to use my code, you can use code Bella and get $100 off of your first month. But my experience with the coaching call has been really good. I feel like I'm going to be a little bit more intentional. I actually have a book that I'm going to order called Food Rules by Michael Pollan. I've read this book years ago, but I just feel like it will be a good refresher for me in terms of just like getting back on the right track. But my takeaways were that I need to move more, and I need to be a little bit more intentional with food. And the workout that I did today, granted, it's a little weird, a little unconventional, but it works for me. It's in my bedroom. There's literally no excuse. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a habit tracker for 30 days, and I'm gonna try to stick to it like every single day and just be accountable to me, because I know that I can sometimes not have a good work-life balance. Like I prioritize like literally everything else besides my health, and I've preached to you guys to make time for yourself, so it's time for me to take my own advice. Thank you guys so much for watching.
watching. Again, if you need access to a GLP-1 medication and you qualify, you can check the links below and use code BELLA to get $100 off your first month. With Fridays, you get free coaching calls, you get lab work included, literally everything shipped to your door, so there's not really any hassle at all. This has really helped me with my progress, and I actually saw in the photos that I took today and in the video, I look like a lot skinnier, so I'm kind of like, I don't know, I just feel like I should have gotten into this sooner, but I'm gonna do it today. All right, y'all, I'm gonna wrap up. Have a good rest of your day. I will catch y'all in the next video. Take care until then.
Today, basically, we have about 30 minutes together, so I'm going to hit on all of the key topics that you need to know as far as nutrition goes while on the medication. And then if there's any other questions that you have later down the line, you have access to messaging through the Fridays portal, and you can message a dietitian. I think you can choose specifically my name. We have a bunch of dietitians on the team. You'll actually get a message from me after today's visit with a summary of everything that we talk about. So feel free to message me any questions that you have that come up. That's unlimited to you.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I tell people anything that we don't get to today or things that pop into your mind, just send it in the chat and I'll make sure to get that answered. You also have the opportunity to schedule a follow-up, which I'll talk about a little bit towards the end. If you want to get a follow-up scheduled just for additional support, accountability, that's also available to you unlimited. We typically recommend about every 4 to 6 weeks or so, depending on your needs, for a follow-up visit. It's a little shorter than what we get to do today, but just a little check-in, seeing how you're doing, how you're progressing as far as nutrition goes. But yeah, today we'll hit on the key topics. I'll make sure to get any questions that you have today answered as well. When you scheduled, you mentioned, improving your protein intake, wanting to cook regular meals instead of eating so much processed food, which we'll definitely talk about. You talked about, sugar, processed food, meal prep that you can stick to. We'll probably get to all of that. Are there any other specific questions off the top of your head that you wanted me to cover today?
I just have a really big issue with sugar.
Okay.
I grew up in the rural South, so like sugar is like in everything, and just like I'm telling my mom I'm on this medicine and she's bringing me like cookies and cupcakes and just like, I'm like, could you not?
Yes, you're like all the things. Just to confirm, so your height is 5 foot and your weight, what is your weight currently?
It's around 145. It hovers from like 142 to 145. So
I see that. And I have a starting weight around 189. Was that in September 2022?
Yeah, I mean, I was heavier, I would say probably about the time I started. So a couple of years, about 3 years ago.
Okay. Well, we'll say around September 2022. That's when you started the medication originally?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was on it, and then my insurance stopped covering it, so I had like a lull of like not being on it for a little while, because I've been counting calories for 10 plus years.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, like a great portion of my life was spent like memorizing the calorie counts on things. So, it's like, I guess I want to talk about nutrition in terms of like not focus so much on that and focus more on like protein and something sustainable that isn't just me running into my fridge to grab something that's like a Lunchable when I'm like, I need to eat something, my blood sugar's dropping, I don't really want to eat anything on this medicine sometimes. So
exactly, I think that calories can help, especially at the beginning, but now you may need to start looking towards quality of your food choices, ingredients in your food, kind of optimizing your overall internal health.
I have a gym membership that I never use.